Hi, welcome back. Okay, this is a really random one. I'm feeling a bit discombobulated, a bit overwhelmed. And then when that happens, my brain suddenly goes, "Oh, let's try this size." And I'm really happy in my A5, but I can't get it out of my head. It's now like this little thing that's going, "Oh, let's try A6. Oh, let's try A6." And then I'm like, I need to buy all the stuff for A6. But, and here's the but, I'm going to, when I did my Rosy Life Planner, which order, I accidentally ordered 2 of the 2024 books. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to make it into my planners. I'm going to make some A6. I think A6 is a bit bigger than a you've got A5 traveller's notebook, standard traveller's notebook, which is that, and then you have passport, is it? Oh, I can't remember. But no, before passport I think there's another one. But for me, the A5 goes nicely into an A6, so it might not be a true traveller's notebook size, but this will go into this will do an A6, an A5, or even a standard traveller's notebook. So maybe we'll make a few of each, because I really like the paper in here. I just not going to use it as it is. Now, you can do this to most books. You can do it to your Hobonichi, and I'm pretty sure you can do it to your Styology as well. But what you want to do is you want to see if your book has signatures. Now, signatures, I don't know if you can see, but a signature is what they use to do a set of papers. So actually, have I got more than one signature there? No, that is one signature. Right, what you need to know, what I found out with my Rosy Life Planner, is depending on how the book is bound. So in the Rosy Life Planner, the pages are, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 A4 pages to a signature. But the way the Rosy Life Planner is bound is the 4th one is actually stuck to the binding, because what they do is they'll then stitch or glue all these signatures together. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can either go like this with some scissors, and I'm literally cutting the threads as I go. Okay, so that's one signature removed. This now is stuck in the book because it is glued to the binding. So if we then go again, this is our next signature. The other way that you can do it when you know you've got to the middle, which is slightly easier, is you can just cut the threads that I used to bind the book together. I'll do a few of these on camera and then I will pause it. might even be easier with a craft knife, because you haven't got to worry about also cutting the threads. Ooh. That one might have come out. I might be in luck. It might be a bit different than when I did my last one. Right, so there's that one, and then there's the other one. So now I don't know if on the Hobonichi or the Styology or any of the others it makes a whether you lose the page. It just depends on how the manufacturer has bound the book. And I'll just say these are there is such a skill to doing this. I have tried to make my own books. It's not that easy. Right, I'll do a couple more and then I'll pause it, because I'm sure you don't want to just sit here for the hour it will take me to go. I mean, I'm starting at the back of the book. You could start at the front of the book. But the first time I took one apart, I wasn't sure how it was going to go. So I thought I would share what I'd learnt. Right, I'll do one more and then I'll pause the camera and I will come back when I have done, when I've finished it. Oh. There we are. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep them in their signatures. So what they do is they stitch. This is where you can see the stitches, and then they join the stitches or they glue the stitches, and in this case they've glued it down. So just bear in mind you will lose a sheet of paper every time. So not all of the planner in the Rosy Life planner will be able to be used, but yeah, so let's give that a pause and I will be back when I've done it. Hold on, let's just go. Okay, so I've taken all the signatures out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the book apart. She says, easier said than done. As I said, I don't know about the Hobonichi or anything like that. I don't know how. Hold on, I'm going to go and grab my sharper knife. Okay, got my sharper knife. I need to change the blade in that other one. I love this paper. I'm just not going to use the book, so let's use the paper for something that I might use. Right. Do I know what I'm doing? No. Do I ever know what I'm doing? Nope. Right, can you see on here? So it's been glued. I don't think this one's been... I'm not sure if it's been stitched as well. As I said, I don't know how the backing on the Hobonichi and Styology, whatever are. So just be aware when you do it, you might lose some of the pages. But hopefully, where's my metal, almost said metal knife then. See, look, I've just brought you along with me. I'm winging it. When I did it last time, I took it apart on the sofa. I didn't come out here. I did it on the sofa. Am I still in shot? Sort of. We might as well use it for something that we're going to use it for. Seems to make sense to me. As I said, I like the paper. The planner's too big, which is why I understand why this year it's in 2 books. But it's definitely nice paper. It's the 80 GSM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these papers, what I can, into A6 booklets. They won't be perfect, but they can be used for scrap paper. I could even make them into maybe a pocketbook as scrap paper. I know they won't be true A5 size now, some of them, but that's fine. Right. Some of them will be a lot smaller, but hey, we're upcycling. Is it upcycling? Recycling? I don't know what we're doing. Right. Having fun and making a mess. Okay, so let's put these off to one side because these are the ones that are going to be smaller. Right, let's see. Okay, so let's put these to one side and these to one side because these are the smaller bits. Right. I don't think we can do that if so. When you make signatures, you're opposite, so we want to be able to get that to run like that. We'll have to put this inside, but I don't think I will leave that one for a minute because because when we put them together, so like these are the weekly, we can put them together. They are going to be out of date and out of sync, but that's not a problem because we've got to redate them anyway. How many weeks have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, just stuck a bit of paper in my mouth. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we've got 17 weeks. 17, 18, 19. So we might have 20 weeks now. We might have over 20 weeks. We might have under 20 weeks. Right. So now I'm going to grab a few other bits and I will be back. Okay, so I have grabbed some craft card. Doesn't matter what we use. This is 12 by 12 because this is A5, and if you put it on A4, you're going to lose a bit on the spine, so it won't be quite big enough. So I also have this, which helps me with the folding. Let me see if I can just get you in frame a bit more. Hold on. Okay, now you can see how messy my table really is. Right, so this is the middle. Then I want to come down and down. And this just helps when you can do it without the scoring board. I hope I've just done this the right size. I didn't think about that. I might not have done actually. Yeah, no, I've used these. Yes, I've used these before. Right, so we'll pop that to one side. Okay, so need a couple of clips. Binder clips will probably be easier, but oh, I've got some paper clips here. Right. Oh, that was it. I normally do another one lightly down the middle. I'm saying I normally do another one. I've only done this a couple of times. It's not like I've done it loads. Oh, that didn't seem to be very in the middle. Not easy drawing lines on lines. Right. Now what I do, which side do I want? Let's go for the green, is what I try and do is line up the middle here with the middle line. Now then, put a clip. I'm going to put a clip. Now hopefully, if I've done this right, and it's a big if, when I turn it over, yes, I've got a long arm stapler. As I said, when I decide to do something, I go all out and get everything I need, and then it sits on the shelf. I've used this quite a few times now. Right, so I find my middle line. I'm really hoping that I'm getting the middle. Oh, always the way when you try and do something. Right, let's try again. And I do the middle, the line in the middle, so that I can hopefully when I turn it over, oh, that's not bad, not perfect, but you know, it'll do. Right, now what we need to do is, with our ruler, are these perfect? No, they're not, but they're good enough for me. Using our box cutter very gently, and you're best to use a metal knife, a metal ruler, a metal knife, like you're going to get far with a plastic knife, because otherwise you can end up taking out chunks of the paper. Now when you look, you can see it's not quite, you got a bit over, so I'm just gonna, this is all turned pear-shaped. Doesn't it always when you're trying to do something to show people? Right. Just gently come down. There we go. You've lost a little bit, but it's still a completely usable book. And then if you want, with a corner punch, you can punch all the corners of the pages, because as you can see, some have been cut and some haven't. I won't bore you all doing that online. So there, we just turned the weekly into a sickly, into a Traveller's TN A5 size. Right, so we're going to take some note paper, as we've done Traveller's A5. Let's make these into a standard TN. So we've got, how many sheets we got per thing? We've got 1, 2, 4, 6. So we've got 12 sheets per thing. There's some with, actually if we do that way, yes, I know the date's upside down, but I'm not really paying much attention to the dates. Oh, sorry, my boys are fighting. Right. So then these can be used as dailies in a traveller's notebook. They can be used in anything you want, really. Scratch notes, anything like that. Right, there you go. So just going to repeat exactly the same thing again. Can you see they don't quite line up? But that's fine, because we're doing a standard TN this time. It won't be use that as the inside and have that as the outside. Right, so again, using my bone knife, the middle, down each side. This just makes it a bit easier when you go to actually put your notebook in. You can just do a single fold, but I find that then the staples don't always go in the middle of the page. Everything's always off to an angle with me, I'm afraid. They're upside down. Oh. You know why? There we go. Again, line that up with the middle, trying to keep them as straight and as together as you can. Lining them up along the bottom. If you've got bulldog clips, then they work just as well, if not better, but that would mean pausing you and going to go and get them. So actually, this time before we punch it, let's try something a bit dangerously different. Let's live life a bit dangerous. And there we go. That will make putting the holes in. I don't think these are actually going to work, but anyone want a big paper clip? Right. Again, make sure you're to the top, but not right at the top. And we're punching. Oh, sorry, that was my head hitting the camera. Now the moment of truth. Oh yes! Go, go, go! Sorry, that's not often that happens. Believe me, I've had to unpick many. Right. As I said, you don't need to do the folds. I just find it helps. Now, a standard traveller's notebook is 12 centimetres. It's 21 by 21 by, I think it's 11 actually. We'll go 21 by 22. Yeah, I think it's that one there. That's quite good because we've got a spotty pattern. So let's draw a line. So now we're going to take our ruler and our sharp, oh, getting cramp in my foot, pins and needles, sharp box cutter. Just going to do some light pulling it down. Gently, not too hard, because if you go too hard then it almost eats the paper and it becomes really rough edge. I learnt that the hard way. Right. And there you have a, oh, still some of the dates. There you have a daily. I mean, yes, you still got the dates, but they're enough that you can cover them over. You now have a Traveller's TN size. Okay. This is one of the reasons I stopped doing Traveller's TNs, etc., was because of the paper wastage. But that's not too bad. And then I feel I have to keep all the paper. Right, so let's take some of, there's some of the ones we've cut. Right, so these will have to be scrap paper because you can still write on them quite easily. Right, there's those. Going to do an A6. Well, it's not going to be a true A6 because these aren't A6 size. So, well, they're not a true A5 size anymore. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my bone folder, bone knife, bone folder, bone whatever. It's made of plastic, not bone, just in case anyone is worried. A few more. Let's do that the other way, because that's got some. Right. Nope. So we need another piece of card. Oh, actually, we could do this. Hold on. We can use some A4 craft paper, because it's smaller. Right, so find the middle. That way, yeah. So what are we? We're about 10. We're about where that heart is. Let's go either side. This just helps make a bit of a spine. Right. Sorry, they are school holidays and it's raining. Right, so again, I'm going to go. Oh, and that wasn't in the middle. That was on the wrong one. Right. That's the middle one. There we go. Can you see how that one wasn't on the middle? So now we need to do a little bit more cutting than we did on the other one. Let's see, how now is it because of the... Right. Let's fold it. Can you see how it's sticking out the middle? So put your ruler down. Where's my sharp one? And we'll just gently, oh, I think my blade had got blunt, as you can see it's moved, my ruler's moved. That's better. The blades do get blunt quite quickly doing this. Right, and you also need to tidy up here, because paper was already different sizes. And just up here. There we go. So now I have made an A6 or just under A6 size booklet, and I've still got so much left. I can make loads more. I've still got all this. The other thing that you could do if you are rings is literally tidy up the edges and punch holes in them with your hole punch. Cut them in half. You can do whatever. So I've, out of a very small amount, made an A5, a standard traveller's notebook, and a B6, A6, not B6, A6 size. But you can make pocket, you can make whatever. So that book, and I still got so much paper left. I can make so many more. So that planner that I wasn't going to use, I can now use. The scrap paper, I can use it for whatever I want to. The only thing I did find is these don't punch into holes, into rings very well. That's the only thing I found, because the ring punch holes end up being sort of in here. So you lose Wednesday and a bit of Thursday. But I hope that helps somebody who's thinking of maybe taking their bound book apart. Any questions or anything, drop me a line below. I love seeing your comments and answering your comments. So I hope this helps somebody. All right then, bye.